Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of United Talks Podcast. This is the Deadline Day live stream. We're basically an hour and 2 minutes away from the end of the transfer window, and we're going to be following everything from done deals to potential signings to last minute deals and everything in between. So walk with me. Like I said to you, it's going to be an hour of consistent kind of breakdown of everything. In the last couple of hours, since the beginning of the day, last 24 hours, there's a lot of deals that have also been completed, a lot of deals that have also been broken down and certain things in between, right? First and foremost, we were happy to wake up this morning to see that Man United had completed the deal to sign Senne Lammens from Royal Antwerp, and they've basically, Manchester United agreed a deal according to The Athletic and, David Ornstein and Ben Jacobs, the reliable sources, as well as Fabrizio Romano. The Man United had completed a deal to sign Royal Antwerp goalkeeper Senne Lammens. A fee of around 21 million euros plus add-ons has been agreed with no sell-on clause. So, done deal, everything done, and all of that. More on that, Manchester United agreed personal terms with Royal Antwerp goalkeeper Senne Lammens, but there is not yet club-to-club agreement. This was basically before, that was 8 hours ago, and then later on 6 hours ago, which was 2 hours later, 23-year-old would have to travel to Manchester if the deal, this morning, if the deal has a realistic chance of completion ahead of this evening's transfer deadline, with Aston Villa monitoring the situation. Like I said, Aston Villa had also been following up on the whole Senne Lammens deal, trying to see if they can, take the deal from us in the back end. And there's a whole lot, there's a lot of things going on in the background. Manchester United tried to make that deal, go through, trying to make that deal happen. And in the end, it was all we could get from Fabrizio Romano was people keep pushing and pushing to try to secure the deal, but it wasn't to be. So, but in the end, Manchester United have kind of completed that deal, and Senne Lammens is now a goalkeeper for Manchester United. My question to you guys is, what do you guys think about this whole Senne Lammens situation? Drop it in the comment section so we can, break it down and have further conversations. There's also, in the last couple of hours, some other done deals that were completed. Obviously, we know the obvious ones. Well, before we get to those ones, really happy for us we're really happy for Victor Lindelof. Victor Lindelof has completed his deal, free signing from to Aston Villa, and basically, obviously, Aston Villa haven't had any wins this season with regards to the Premier League, and they've had poor starts this Premier League season and all of that. But then they get to sign Victor Lindelof, who's an experienced goalkeeper, one who could actually, bring something or make some things happen for Aston Villa. Then, speaking of Aston Villa, we have another breaking news with regards to that happened earlier today, and that was Jadon Sancho to Aston Villa on loan, with 80% of Jadon Sancho's wages covered by Villa. It's pretty interesting to actually see, because I think it's pretty ironic that Villa would, Sancho will go to Villa, because we've brought you news severally, on this channel, talking about Sancho and offers that he had with regards to Roma, Juventus. Potentially at some point he had an offer from Napoli as well, but at the end, even Chelsea would have taken him based on the obligation, or no, the option, the buy option that they had. Chelsea would have taken him, and they would have basically just allowed him to go, and might not have allowed him to go, and would have sold him for, I think, around £25 million. But Sancho didn't want to go because of the wages. The wages were not what he was looking at. The wages were not what he was interested in. So obviously Chelsea had to pull out of the deal and opted to pay £5 million back to Manchester United. Now, Manchester United forward has moved to Aston Villa on loan. And obviously, Man United have the option of extending his contract because this is the last year of his contract. So they have an option of extending his contract by a further year. And then speaking of Senne Lammens, in the Kyla, obviously, who has been bringing some important news. I think he seems to be in the know of some of these things. It says exclusive Senne Lammens. This was about 4 hours ago. Senne Lammens has signed for Man United. All contracts are signed for all parties. It is what it is. We have to keep moving. Still on the Jadon Sancho situation, Man United obviously had to let him go. He's part of the bomb squad, right? So according to Sky Sports News, the loan deal is done, is complete. They're going to basically do a Villa are going to cover 80% of his deal, and then eventually 80% of his salary, and then it will rise to 100% through kind of performance related add-ons and stuff. So let me know your thoughts and feelings about this whole Sancho thing. Is he finally free? You know, I mean, he's the freedom fighter for for all players that are having issues at Man United. It is pretty ironic, right? Now, Manchester United, speaking of Senne Lammens again, Manchester United view Senne Lammens as a young goalkeeper with a bright future and believe that the Belgian is the right choice for them with his younger profile. Goalkeeper has not been a priority position all summer long for United until a recent flurry of mistakes from Alaba and from Onana forced a rethink, and that is according to Simon Jones. Now, speaking of Senne Lammens, and now that we talked about the Onana thing, now there's been an argument over the summer, and I've talked about this. You guys already know my thoughts on this. There's been an argument over the summer about the whole Onana situation because there was a comparison between Onana and Emi Martinez. Now, Emi Martinez and Onana, obviously, they had similar stats, but one thing stood out for me, basically, with regards to this whole Emi Martinez and Onana situation. And that thing that stood out was the fact that Andrew Onana had played 43 games and Emi Martinez had played 44 games all season. Andrew Onana had 9 clean sheets in the Premier League, and I think Emi Martinez had 8 clean sheets. People were saying, oh, it's all mentality. He has the mentality to push the team forward, this and that. Everybody was saying all what they could say. But at the end of the day, it all boiled down to one thing, and which is basically that Manchester United were interested in a keeper who would deliver, who's long-term plan, not an over 30 goalkeeper who will basically, who had basically all the arguments that everybody had was with regards to him winning the World Cup or him winning the Copa America and all of that. In truth, yeah, he might have won the Copa America, he might have won the World Cup, but that's the only thing he's done at club level. What about at international? That's the only thing he's done at international level. What about club level? International football is different. Even Andrew Onana could be in that Argentina goalpost and still be able to win those trophies. So they're pretty much the same. One is younger, the other is older. Onana is 29, and then Emi Martinez is older. Now, speaking of Emi Martinez, I think there's an interest from Galatasaray, seeing as they failed to sign Ederson from Man City, potentially going for Emi Martinez or Andrew Onana. So now, the overall news with regards to Senne Lammens is the fact that, the deadline day move was a dramatic one for Manchester United as it secured the €21 million deal for the 23-year-old Belgian goalkeeper Senne Lammens from Royal Antwerp, aiming to challenge Andrew Onana and strengthen their squad. Lammens, dubbed the baby Courtois for his shot-stopping skills, signed a 5-year contract after impressing in the Belgian Pro League. Amid fan excitement and rival interest from clubs like Galatasaray and Aston Villa, the signing caps a busy transfer window for Man United, who are also added Mateusz Cunha, Brian Mbeumo, and Belgian Benjamin Sesko, and signaling a rebuild which is focused on youth and defense. Now, in truth, Aston Villa, when Man United were having issues with Senne Lammens' deal, Aston Villa went behind and went and, tried to scupper the deal by making contact with Royal Antwerp for Senne Lammens. And at the end of the day, Man United still secured the deal because Man United were also interested in trying to get Emi Martinez while waiting for Senne Lammens. And then at the end of the day, Aston Villa made the contact to Senne Lammens, and then Man United completed the deal while Aston Villa were trying to go behind our back. But it is what it is. All deals done, everything is complete. Senne Lammens is already, we've seen clips and pictures of him already in Manchester, already heading to Manchester. So we're going to keep building. I mean, Rio Ferdinand has reported that Manchester United, obviously, as reported by David Osteen, that Manchester United had reached a total agreement for Royal Antwerp goalkeeper Senne Lammens. Now, the next one we have on our list, we talked about Sancho. Next one I'll talk about is Anthony. Manchester United forward Anthony is expected to travel to Spain for a medical with Real Betis after an agreement, was reached between the clubs and for his permanent deal of 21.7 million pounds, which is like 25 million euros. Anthony to Real Betis, that one is done. What do you guys think? We have a 50% sell-on clause on that one. We keep building and all of that, but it's crazy. Speaking of rival clubs, Liverpool signed Isak and Guehi. That's like they're cooking, man. They're really, really cooking. So we need to, we need to up our game. Everybody needs to prepare. Speaking of, so according to David Ornstein, Mark Guehi to undergo medical in London before proposed permanent switch from Crystal Palace to Liverpool. Deal for 25-year-old centre-back agreed at £35 million plus 5-year Liverpool contract in place as all parties worked to seal the deal. So yeah, Liverpool are cooking, but it is what it is. Speaking of the Anthony deal, we have a 50% sell-on clause on Anthony, and Anthony was part of the bomb squad, one of the players that Manchester United needed to let go and all of that, but it is what it is. We have to keep moving. In truth, Anthony could have been one of the one very hard-working player at Manchester United, but it wasn't to be. He apparently wasn't working hard enough, and Amorim didn't fancy him. So, and obviously it means there's one thing that's common with all the 4 players I've let go. We have Jadon Sancho, winger. Anthony, winger. Rashford, winger. Garnacho, winger. They're all wingers. Garnacho has moved to Chelsea for £40 million. Oh, that one broke like 2 days ago and stuff. They're all wingers. So we don't have any wingers in the club except for Ahmad, basically. The rest are wing backs and stuff, because obviously the board are backing Rúben Amorim with regards to ensuring that we have just the 3-4-3 system and the wing backs and all of that. Speaking of one other player in the bomb squad, we have Tyrell Malacia. He's facing a race against time to seal an exit before the window shuts. Elche, along with other clubs, are interested in the defender, and United are waiting for a suitable offer. This is a player we signed a couple years ago, I think in 2022, for around £12 million, and now is finding it hard to get into the team. He's deemed surplus requirements. Obviously, we have enough left backs right now, and we have enough right backs as well. We probably need one more, but it is what it is. It's something that we have to just keep building from and keep taking to the next level. But I feel kind of sorry for Tyrell Malacia, because I felt like he could have I don't know. It was so sad for him to go on an injury like that. But yeah, Tyrell Malacia is waiting to go to Elche. I think I heard he rejected a few other moves to Elche. I mean, to other clubs, including Spanish clubs and stuff. Apart from that, that is pretty much with regards to all of the other things. I've seen other reports that Manchester United could be interested in Adam Wharton, and they said the deal is on. I don't know how reliable that is, but United MAI, but I haven't seen from all of the reputable sources with regards to that deal. But we're going to keep following it. We're going to keep tracking. So hit the comment section. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about all things that have been going on. And Alejandro Garnacho, who completed his deal, he's moved to Chelsea for £40 million had posted something on X, on Instagram, posted a message on Instagram, and I think his Bruno Fernandes liked it. He says he sent a farewell message. In the farewell message, he said, "Dear Manchester," I thought he was supposed to say "Dear Manchester United," but it is what it is. He says, "Dear Manchester, after an unforgettable 5 years, this special chapter in my life now comes to a close. We have created moments that will stay with me forever, and I'm very grateful for this. To the coaches, staff, and my teammates, thank you for believing in me. Every time I wore the badge, I gave everything I had." Did he wear the Manchester badge or he wore the Manchester United badge? Well, it is what it is. We have to keep moving. He says, I leave proud of what we have achieved together and excited for what's to come. Wishing the club nothing but success for the future, while I look forward to giving my all in the next chapter of my career. Congratulations to you, Garnacho. I think most of the fans are really not happy about the turn of events for him and the situation. I mean, what could we have done? What could he have done? He could have done things, differently or better, right? Yeah, it is what it is. And Lando Garnacho, that's the end of his chapter at the club. We have to move on and all of that. So, yeah, a lot of things going on, a lot popping off in the world of transfers. Manchester, we're seeing things with regards to news and stuff and everything in between. Speaking of the whole Sancho thing, because there's a lot going on back and forth and a lot of things breaking back and forth. Manchester United have spent a total of 150 million on Jadon Sancho when you include transfer fee, salary over 5 years. He is without doubt the worst signing in Manchester United history. This is according to Will Never Die United Glazer Scar Show, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, Jadon Sancho, yeah, it really cost us a whole lot, despite everything. The signing, the video, it's the stuff like, oh, this is home and everything in between. Sancho was just not it at all. Sancho was not it at all. He was really, 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 really... It was really heartbreaking to see a player like that just fade off. Even went on loan several times and still faded off, right? Played at Borussia Dortmund and then eventually came back, went to Chelsea, eventually came back and all of that. But yeah, it's good, but at least good positive. We have Senne Lammens now, and obviously he has completed his Man United medical and the contract has been signed. This according to Mike McGrath. Senne Lammens has completed his medical, and yeah. So Ben Jacobs says, in the last 3 hours, Ben Jacobs says, who would be United's number one? I think it's relatively open. I think Manchester United are happy without the labels at the moment. Right now, you say Onana is number one in likelihood, but Senne Lammens is there to compete and challenge. So, and then the last 4 hours, it was like, MUFC have informed Kobbie Mainoo that there is zero chance that he leaves today. The case is closed. So that is Kobbie Mainoo's situation at Man United. A whole lot of things going on right now for Kobbie Mainoo. He wanted to leave, but eventually it wasn't to be for him and all of that. Yeah, so Kobbie Mainoo done. I need to analyze that Kobbie Mainoo situation. Yeah, when you think about it from the perspective of the number of midfielders Man United have, Kobbie Mainoo is one of the midfielders. Like, if we look at like what we have in depth when it comes to midfield, we only have like three midfielders, or if you include Bruno Fernandes, so 3 midfielders. We have Casemiro, we have Manuel Ugarte, and we have Kobbie Mainoo. Manuel Ugarte and Casemiro are defensive midfielders. Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes are central midfielders or attacking midfielders. Kobbie Mainoo can be a CM, can play as a DM and all of that. But to now have a situation where he wants to leave us bare, like threadbare, because he wants to play, I can understand the fact that he wants to play. But What do you guys think? Because I think that if he goes, he leaves us very short for the season, and anything that happens will make it really hard for Manchester United to thrive in the Premier League. But it is what it is. But Man United have informed him that he can't go. I mean, we literally need one more midfielder. And let's have it. Basically, he played absolutely well in the last game. In the last couple of games, especially in the game against Burnley, he played well, and all of that. Yeah, it is what it is. You have to be positive about the whole Kobe Mini situation and everything in between. Yeah. So, furthermore, another one is that Man City, they seem to be cooking when it comes to getting goalkeepers. They let go of Ederson to Fenerbahce. This is according to Fabrizio Romano. Ederson to Fenerbahce. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place for the Brazilian goalkeeper to join Fenerbahce. Fee was around 13 to 14 million euros to Man City for Ederson, and also personal terms were agreed with his agent George Mendes and director Devin Ozek. Up next, Donnarumma to City. Donnarumma is going to Man City. That one is a done deal. Like, basically, Newcastle. Johan Wissa to Newcastle is here. We go. Deal verbally agreed right now between both clubs for a fee worth £55 million package. Brentford accept formal proposal from Newcastle, and Wissa is on his way for medical later today. After Isak gone, Wissa and Votamade joined for Eddie Howe. So obviously Wissa to Newcastle. So here we go. Yeah, we got to keep Liverpool was so quick. Speaking of Manchester United signings, one of the worst signings of Manchester United's history is Alexis Sanchez, and he has moved to Sevilla. Here we go, deal in place, 1-year contract as Chile legend arrives today for medical. Documents being prepared after Sevilla got green light to proceed. So, yeah. Yep. It is what it is. Yeah, everybody's exactly. What? Breaking news, Galatasaray and Man City have agreed a deal for Ilkay Gundogan. He's leaving the club with authorization by City, waiting on players' approval for 2-year contract. Galatasaray are preparing his travel if Gundo accepts. Yeah. Yep. So, it is what it is. We have to just keep moving. Happy for Victor Lindelof. He's signed for Aston Villa and all of that. So, we're waiting on any potential news with regards to anything with regards to basically any signings for Manchester United, and we will be tracking things as they go, and we will be right back on that. We'll be right back on that. In about 30 something minutes, the window will close, and we will still keep you updated on anything as it relates to Manchester United. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. We're tracking all of the deals that are going on. There were rumors left, right, and center with regards to what Manchester United could be interested in, but nothing from the big guns with regards to that. Nothing from the big guns and everything. Yeah, nothing from the big guns. Speaking of transfers from the rivals, with regards to anything that is, related to transfers, David Ornstein has reported exclusively that Marseille are working on a deal to sign Alexander Zinchenko from Arsenal. Olympique Marseille exploring permanent move for 28-year-old defender, but it is complicated by Ukraine International's AFC salary. That's Arsenal salary. Significant issue is plus solution needed to deal to advance. Talks are still ongoing. Another one is Chelsea have just agreed a deal to sign Facundo Buonanotte, 20-year-old Brighton and Hove Albion winger. He spent last season on loan at Leicester, and now Chelsea are working to secure the Argentina international on temporary basis. But obviously, as we all know, the deal is already here we go. The deal is complete. On a season-long loan for the winger, joining Chelsea from Brighton. Which leads me to ask a question, because somebody was asking me this question over the weekend. Like, what is making people sign for Chelsea? 28-year-old left-footed right winger joining Chelsea. If we check Chelsea's wingers, you have left-footed right winger in Pedro Neto. Buonanotte is nowhere near as good as Neto. We have Jamie Gittens, same thing on that side. Now we have Alejandro Garnacho playing on the left side. Like, what are people seeing in going to Chelsea? Like, but it is what it is. Maybe the money. Another one. So this one happened 2 days ago. Chelsea informed Bayern Munich that they will not be proceeding with the proposed loan for Nicolas Jackson after an injury to Liam Delap. 24-year-old striker already traveled to Germany, right, for the Bayern Munich move, but Chelsea requested the Senegal international returned to London. Now, in truth, people would say, when reacting with emotions and stuff, they would say, oh, if they were the ones, they wouldn't go back. And the agent also came out to say that there's no going back to Chelsea. But in the end, obviously, Jackson eventually completed that deal. So there was a here we go by Fabrizio Romano. This was by David Ornstein. Then yesterday or this morning, Fabrizio Romano posted that there's a here we go. Jackson has completed move to Bayern Munich. Considering the fact that Magui, who is one of Chelsea's strikers, went to Sunderland on loan, has been called back. So obviously they allowed him go. So yeah, that's pretty much all of the news. We're still tracking. We have about 33 minutes to the transfer window being shut. We haven't seen anything that states that Man United will potentially do any deal. I've been hearing things, but obviously I've not heard anything with regards to Man United doing any deal or signing any midfielder. I'm hearing things that people are saying that Man United could make a late push for a goalkeeper. A midfielder, and Adam Wharton is one of the midfielders that could potentially go. We are still observing. There's nothing particularly blowing our minds with regards to the whole situation with a midfielder or a need for a midfielder. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. Now, Manchester United have sold all 3 players in the last 3 days. 3 players in the last 3 days, and that is Alejandro Garnacho was sold for 40 million. Anthony was sold for 21.6 million pounds plus 50% sell-on clause, and then Rasmus Højlund. Now, speaking of Rasmus Højlund, we're going to talk about Rasmus Højlund now. We're going to talk about his deal and what really happened and all of that. So, with regards to Rasmus Højlund, I'm going to give you a breakdown of everything that happened. Now, according to recent reports, Rasmus Højlund, a 22-year-old Danish striker for Manchester United, is close to completing a deal, a loan move to Napoli. Fabrizio Romano has given the here we go already, but he's also expected to undergo his medical with the Italian club, which had already been completed as of Sunday. As of yesterday, it was completed. Follows an exclusion from the... Now, the fact that it happened, it followed an exclusion from Manchester United's first 4 competitive games, coinciding with the arrival of Benjamin Sesko at the club. Now, Manchester United and Napoli had reportedly agreed a loan deal for Rasmus Højlund that includes a conditional obligation to buy clause worth around 38 million pounds, which becomes mandatory if Napoli qualifies for the Champions League in 25-26 season. Manchester United will also receive a loan fee of around 5 million pounds. What do you guys think about this Rasmus Højlund situation? Because I've had conversations with people about it. I've talked about it. I've asked questions, and people are already saying that why did we have to let him go? I have always been of the opinion that we should leave him. We should keep him at United and ensure that we basically keep the player to compete with Benjamin Sesko. By the way, Benjamin Sesko has still not adapted yet. He's played 3 weeks. 3 weeks at Man United. He still hasn't adapted. Played his first 90 minutes for Man United against Grimsby Town. Unfortunate loss at Grimsby Town, despite the fact that we had a horrible game that day. Man United, I felt Rasmus Højlund could have played that game, but Benjamin Sesko played the entire 90 minutes and finished game with cramps. And then there was reports that everybody was reporting that obviously Manchester United were thinking of a situation where, the question was, why did Benjamin Sesko, who is summer signing, play the last penalty? I'm like, what does it matter? What does it matter? Well, it is what it is. They said, that the reason why, and Rúben Amorim came out to say it, that the reason why he had to play the last penalty was because he had cramps. So yeah, we're gonna keep observing. We're gonna keep, following through with that. But then Benjamin Sesko to Man United, Man United still needs some time to adjust, time to evolve, time to kind of get the rhythm going as a Man United player, get the rhythm going and all of that. Then with regards to Rasmus Højlund, Manchester United have agreed a loan deal, and it becomes mandatory, especially if they fulfill the buy clause of 38 million pounds. It becomes mandatory if Napoli qualifies for the Champions League in the 25-26 season. Manchester United will also receive that loan fee of 6 million pounds, I think 6 or 5. Multiple reports everywhere. Despite previously expressing a desire to remain at Manchester United, Rasmus Højlund's omission from the recent squads at the transfer agreement suggests a change in his situation. Yeah, let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. What do you think could have happened? What do you think Man United could have done differently? Should Rasmus Højlund have stayed to fight for his spot, or could he have basically moved on and all of that? There's so many things going on in the transfer market at this point in time. Man United letting go of Højlund was a sad one for me. The guy worked hard. He was down to earth. He was humble. He was, really like, he didn't cause any problems. He didn't cause any problems. Manchester United have just reported on their website. We're finding that out now. We're finding that out now. Manchester United have reported on their website. Manchester United striker Rasmus Højlund has joined Napoli on loan. This was 1:30, pretty much 3 minutes ago. Manchester United striker Rasmus Højlund has joined Napoli on loan for a duration of 25-26 season, subject to an international clearance and registration. Højlund has made 95 appearances for the Reds since joining from Atlanta in August 2023, scoring 26 goals. He lifted the Emirates FA Cup at the end of the 23-24 season after coming on as a substitute in the final of the game against Manchester City. Rasmus Højlund has agreed a move to the Serie A champions under the management of Antonio Conte. He will play alongside former United teammate Scott McTominay, who helped the Napolitans to a fourth Scudetto title last term. Then Napoli will also be the fifth club Højlund has represented during his career, following earlier spells at Copenhagen and Sturm Graz. We would like to wish Rasmus good luck for the campaign ahead. So Rasmus Højlund to Napoli, done. Next one is the news with regards to Garnacho's situation. This was as of yesterday or 2 days ago. Alejandro Garnacho has completed a permanent move from Manchester United to Chelsea. The Argentina international joined our academy from Atletico Madrid in 2020 and made his senior debut in a 1-1 draw with Chelsea at Old Trafford in 2022. He went on to make 144 first-team appearances for the club, scoring 26 goals. The 21-year-old was part of the squads that won the Carabao Cup in 2023 and the Emirates FA Cup in 2024, and made his final competitive appearance last season in the Europa League final against Tottenham Hotspur. So yeah, those can be pretty much the news coming from the Manchester United website. Obviously, we're still keeping track of what is going on at the club. There's not much except for some season-long loan moves, and Ethan Ennis joins Fleetwood Town on loan. 20-year-old young Manchester United forward Ethan Ennis has secured a season-long loan move to Fleetwood Town. The 20-year-old had begun this season strongly with our under-21 side, netting twice in as many games as to continue the strong form that he showed last time out. Having been one of the team's standout players in the first half of 24-25 season, Ennis earned a January move to Doncaster Rovers, where he became part of the League Two promotion winning side. He now returns to the division with Fleetwood, seeking to continue his strong development. Ennis joined United from Liverpool in 2021 and found brilliant goal-scoring form at the end of his first season, becoming part of the season's FA Cup winning squad. Progressing into 21s, he began to earn first team opportunities in friendly fixtures last summer before the first loan move away. So Ethan Ennis has moved to Fleetwood Town. Not so much with regards to anything. And from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing online on social media, Manchester United might not sign any other midfielder in this window. Manchester United might not sign any other midfielder in this new window. Now, Chris Wheeler has said that the factor in United choosing Lammens over Martinez that is new. We haven't seen that before. Chris Wheeler, 2 minutes ago, he said a factor in United's choosing Lammens over Martinez was Sancho's reluctance to make a permanent move to Villa. Okay. Martinez's wages meant United having to get a transfer fee for Sancho, but he preferred a loan. Sancho just wants to ruin this club at every chance he gets, to milk the club at every chance he gets. So no loan fee, but Villa will pay a minimum of 80% of wages and up to 100% if bonuses hit. Wow. So we are not having a loan fee with regards to that one. Okay. That is interesting. Speaking of other, news, Bruno Fernandes has created more chances, 12, and won more possession as in one possession more times, 24, than any other player in Premier League this season. And yet, he is the problem at Man United. He is the problem at Man United. Okay, it is what it is. We have to keep building. Chris Wheeler also has said, understand that United did inquire about a loan for Conor Gallagher, but Atletico Madrid only willing to sell. In the end, United accept that they can't do anything in one window, and midfield is likely to be priority in January or next summer. According to Chris Wheeler, we probably aren't getting any midfielder. So obviously there's nothing much with regards to that. What do you guys think? Should Man United still go on to get a new midfielder? Who should we get? I like your suggestions in the comment section. Yeah, I like your suggestions in the comment section. And the meeting, this was 4 days ago. We were talking about Garnacho. Said Man UFC agree a fee to sell Garnacho to Chelsea, 40 million fixed fee, 10% sell-on fee, fourth largest sale in Manchester United history, which raised eyebrows after Ronaldo, Lukaku, and Di Maria, largest ever sale of a Man UFC academy. Best wishes to the lad. So that is from. So it's looking like we're not going to get any midfielder, and we have 20 minutes to the end of the transfer window. So we're going to keep you updated. We are going to keep you updated. In truth, there's nothing we can do in this situation. We have to, accept what we have and then know what we can build. Because the truth is, there's going to be a lot of questions with regards to what Amorim has said, or what Amorim is saying, or what could be done, and all of that. Because in truth, like, nobody, I don't know, it's really hard. It's really hard to talk about when it comes to things like these. Yeah, there's a whole lot of conversations to be had with regards to the whole situation with signings. We have 18 minutes to the end of the transfer window. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. Let's keep building. We're seeing a lot of comments, from a lot of people talking about why Man United should sign certain players, who Man United should sign, and everything in between. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video when you see it. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as relates to Manchester United. Yeah. So we woke up this morning saying that Manchester United will make no further payments to Anthony. So yeah, it is what it is. Man United is. Yeah, from what we've gotten from Chris Wheeler, yeah, we will not sign any midfielders. Yeah. And then speaking of Emi Martinez, after Man United move fell through, Galatasaray have made a new €25 million bill, 25 million euros bid to sign Emiliano Martinez. And you know what's funny? Basically, what's funny is that when Unai Emery was asked about Emiliano Martinez, he said that nothing. I mean, he mentioned nothing. He just all he said was I think he mentioned Bizot. Bizot is the name of their goalkeeper. And anytime they asked him, he said it was very funny to see Marco Bizot. That's what he kept mentioning. Marco Bizot, and all of that. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Senne Lammens, speaking of goalkeepers, do you think that Senne Lammens will thrive at United? Do you think that he will be the number one? Do you think he's the kind of player that we need? Do you think he has the mentality? Because everybody keeps talking about mentality. Everybody keeps talking about the kind of things we need for a goalkeeper. For me, I feel like we don't need to put pressure on the keeper. I feel like we don't need to. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. It is something to build on and talk about. But yeah, what do you guys think? It's crazy. So it has been said, obviously, that Manchester United will not sign a midfielder this season. But let's still speak of rumors. So the latest transfer rumors, with regards to anything that is related to Manchester United, Yeah, it seems like Man United are not going to sign any midfielder this season, this transfer window. It seems like Man United are not going to sign any midfielders this transfer window. Yep. So that's pretty much it. There's this picture of Senne Lammens. Let me see if I can share it with you guys. Senne Lammens heading to Manchester for his medical. Just show you a picture on X from Transfer Days, Transfer Live, I think. Yep. So put that here. Just give me one few seconds. Yep. Okay. Let me see if I can show you guys this video. Oh, this picture rather. So. One second. Okay. This is Senne Lammens, according to Transfer Days Live, heading to Manchester, and all of that. So we're going to talk about all of that, and yeah, Man United obviously getting that goalkeeper was a good thing. Samuel Lacoste, who is not the favorite of everybody, has said no movement on the possible departure of goalkeepers at Man United at the time of writing. This was 5 hours ago. Club could have 4 senior goalies in a season where they could play as few as 40 games. Onana could be absent for a month due to AFCON. So looking at this, there is also a positive. This is also a positive for Andre Onana. You know, could be absent for a month due to AFCON, right? This also sounds like a very good positive for him, because I feel like Onana hasn't really pulled up trees. He's annoyed several fans. He has annoyed several fans in the aspect of anything with regards to being a goalkeeper and all of that. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. Let's look at some stats for Senne Lammens. Senne Lammens is according to, you know, what we can get from FotMob. Senne Lammens stats, basically now we'll do a full player profile. We'll talk about him. We'll talk about all of the things he has done. Let's see if we can get. So with regards to stats this season, he has made 11 saves with a 73.3% save percentage. He's considered 4 goals, prevented 1.19 per 90. He has, yeah, total. Then per 90, 2.75 saves per 90, 73%. 1 goal considered per 90. 1 goal, 0.30 goals prevented per 90. Penalties faced 0.25 per 90. Penalties considered 0.00. Penalties saved 0.25 per 90. So he saves the exact amount of penalties. Error leading to goal 0.00. This is just this season. High claims 2.75 per 90 this season. Now, where we have issues is pass accuracy. His pass accuracy is 54%. Accurate long balls 80.50%, 80.50 per 90. Long ball accuracy 29.8 per 90. So yeah, it is a whole lot. Senne Lammens and Man United will need to beef up himself and beef up the standards and stuff. He needs to up his game, amongst other things. Like club career, came from Royal Antwerp, free transfer 2023. We're going to do a full player breakdown. Last season, he played 44 games, right? And this season, he's done well. Look at his ratings around here and all of that. But yeah, Senne Lammens, we're going to keep, observing. He's played he's played in a couple of games from July, so from like July 25, and then he also played, so I think this should be the league game. Played 3-1. He played, I think they won 3-1, and then the away game 1-0, 1-1. So yeah, Senne Lammens, 23-year-old goalkeeper, the potentially new Thibaut Courtois. Yeah, it is what it is. For a keeper, his long ball accuracy is 25% compared to all goalkeepers, and he's a sweeper 22%. So there's so many things he can improve on. 54% goals conceded, clean sheets 39%, high claim 98%. So he's really good with his high claims, and then 30% save percentage. So as it stands, I don't think there's going to be any movement with regards to signings and midfielders at Manchester United. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in, as we build towards, the whole of the transfers and transfer window and everything in between. Yep, nothing whatsoever. Like, I don't think there's anything that could happen, because if not, they would have reported it. So we're just going to keep observing and hoping that there will be something to shock everyone in today's news. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because if we look at it, yep. Okay, so speaking of other transfers, what do you guys think about how do you think Garnacho is going to do at Manchester United? I mean, at Chelsea, how is he going to do? What is the way forward for him? What is the way forward for him, Garnacho, at Chelsea? Do you think that he's going to thrive or pull threes and all of that? We have 9 minutes to the end of the transfer window. Speaking of other transfers for other clubs, Benjamin Pavard has joined Olympique Marseille. So here we go, from Fabrizio Romano, loan deal from Inter with salary covered plus 15% and 15 million euros buy option clause not mandatory, all approved, verbal agreement done, and now all parties hope the document has to be signed in time. Allison and De Vrij chatting with each other after the full time. That's basically. Then if we're going to go further to what's happening on other fronts, because obviously Manchester United are not signing any player. Like I said already, there's an exclusive that Gigi Donnarumma joined Manchester City. Here we go. Done deal for Italian goalkeeper to join Man City project from Paris Saint-Germain. Medical this afternoon. Long-term deal agreed weeks ago and all done between two clubs after Ederson signed for Fenerbahce. Then Fabrizio Romano reported 7 minutes ago that Javi Galán and Nottingham Forest deal collapsing as not ready in time for documents. This is 8 minutes, and he posted this 7 minutes ago. Then exclusive, Udinese agreed a deal to sign Idrissa Gueye from Metz. This is another Idrissa Gueye as a new striker. Yeah, Rasmus Højlund and Napoli never in doubt and now official. 6 million euros loan fee, 44 million euros buy option clause to become mandatory under certain conditions. Nothing top. Okay, so the Javi Galán is from Atletico Madrid. Permanent deal from Atletico Madrid sealed right now for Nottingham Forest. Victor Boniface. Wow. There's another one. Victor Boniface has signed for Werder Bremen. Victor Boniface has signed his Werder Bremen contract until June 2026. Loan with part of his salary covered. Medical completed as revealed, despite them sacking. Now let's talk about the sacking of okay. Okay, let's talk about the sacking of the Man United's three managers. Man United's three former managers: Jose Mourinho, Erik ten Hag, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, both all sacked in the last 3 days. It's one thing to think about. Like, it is sad to see that Manchester United Manchester United managers cannot do well in other clubs, even though Mourinho did well. But the overriding factor in all of those things is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Mourinho, and Mourinho and Erik ten Hag have all struggled to win this season. First and foremost, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Mourinho failed to qualify for Europe with their respective club. Erik ten Hag has struggled to win, especially starting from pre-season and all of that. But it is done. I mean, basically, they're being sacked, and we will not have anything with regards to revisionism at the club. For another news, the one that made me to exclaim, it was Samu Chukwueze to Fulham. Here we go. Deal agreed. Initial loan with buy option clause, not mandatory. Total package could reach a fee of over 25 million, 26 million euros. He's now at Fulham training ground after medical already done. So Samu Chukwueze from AC Milan, Nigerian international, has gone to Fulham. Randall Kolomwani has just signed his contract as new Tottenham player. That is sick. Randall Kolomwani has signed his contract as new Tottenham player. He's going to battle it out with two other strikers, Solanke and Richarlison. So let's see how he does in England. Also exclusive, Fulham agreed deal for Kevin, also a player on player side. Here we go. 40 million plus 5 million add-ons euros, long-term deal with Kevin, and a deal sealed now. Despite Sporting pushing for Kevin, Kevin joins Fulham. And speaking of other deals, I think I've gotten a notification right now because I'm keeping track of everything with regards to that's the update from Manchester United website that Anthony has signed for Real Betis. Manchester United and Real Betis have reached an agreement for permanent transfer of Anthony subject to international clearance and registration. The Brazilian international has rejoined the club where he spent the second part of last season on a loan basis. Scoring 9 times in 26 games across all competitions. He helped the Seville-based outfit reach the UEFA Conference League final, supplying 4 goals and 3 assists, although Chelsea lifted the trophy in Wroclaw. Now, Anthony signed for United from Ajax in the summer of 2022 and made a total of 96 appearances for the club, scoring 12 goals. His stats are worse than that of Rasmus Hojlund, albeit they're both different players. He performed well in Carabao Cup final victory against Newcastle that landed a trophy for Erik ten Hag's team, and was also part of the squad that lifted the Emirates FA Cup in the following season, beating Manchester City 2-1 at Wembley in the final. The South Americans' final outing for the Reds came in January of this year, when he appeared as a substitute during the Premier League defeat to Brighton and Hove Albion at Old Trafford. One would remember the time when Anthony was told to play left back and he was complaining. Meanwhile, it was the same manager who signed him that told him to play left back, and that was Erik ten Hag at the time. But yeah, Anthony gone, that money can be channeled to something else, and all of that. So Anthony is done at Man United. So we're going to keep observing. We have pretty much 3 minutes to the end of transfer window, and then we can now decide to review. I potentially would review it with a guest on the show, and then we can talk about the transfers and all of that. As it stands, Man United are not doing anything with regards to signing any midfielder in this transfer window. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. Speaking of other transfers, Nicholas Jackson, who was of interest to Man United at some point, Fabrizio Romano has reported about 3 hours ago, Bayern Munich and Chelsea seal new agreement for Jackson deal done. Loan plus buy option plus buy clause that with new element of obligation to buy included in the deal for 2026 as Chelsea wanted. Jackson already agreed 5-year deal at Bayern Munich, 16.5 million euros loan fee. Here we go again. So it was already a here we go. Fabrizio Romano reported the here we go, and Jackson was definitely on his way. He had already landed, basically. He had already landed in Germany, and then obviously he was told to come back because Liam Delap had an injury. You know what's funny about this whole thing? Liam Delap basically said, Liam Delap was to play a game, and when this deal was about going through and Fabrizio Romano had announced it, like the here we go, someone now posted and said, oh, Liam Delap is going to get an injury in about 6 hours, and Liam Delap got an injury. And then they called Jackson back. And people are saying, oh, why should Jackson be going back? And lo and behold, he has sealed the deal. Now, before the transfer window closes, there is also an exclusive detail with regards to the deal that transfer window has officially closed. The transfer window has officially shut. What do you guys think about Manchester United's transfer window? Hit the comment section and let me know your thoughts and feelings. The transfer window has officially shut. Man United didn't sign any other midfielder. Just to add to that Jackson deal before we wrap it up, Chelsea, exclusive detail by Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea also got higher loan fee from FC Bayern for Nico Jackson, from the original 15 million euros to 60 million euros loan fee. Whatever the case, we have to keep moving. It is what it is. All done. Everything is, Now, transfer window is officially shut. We shall review all of the transfers that Manchester United had performed and everything. And then, 6 minutes ago, Nico Jackson's deal documents have been signed, all sealed. He's a new FC Bayern player. So that is, all done. Everything is, done. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. The Ineos Out Brigade are already out. Let's keep, the reason why, if you look at the Ineos Out Brigade, what they're saying, United stand is saying, according to Chris Wheeler, that Man United accept they can't do anything in the one window, and the midfield is likely to be priority in January or next summer. So, what do you guys think? Man United fans are asking Ineos, where is Baleba? Where is the midfielder you desperately need? All PR stunts to fool fans again. Enough is enough. Glazers and Ratcliffe out. The culture will never change under them. Everybody's giving up. Fans are already giving up. Wow, they've started the Ineos Out campaign already. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about the transfer window. We're going to review it pretty much later. We're going to review it. It is what it is. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. So they said Manchester United are set to make a guaranteed £90 million in the summer transfer window, with a potential 64 million in the future. In future transfer fees also agreed, and that is according to Richard Fay, or Rich Fay, as case may be. So take make of it what you will, and all of that. It is what it is. It is what it is. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. We shall review the transfer window after this, and also do a player profile for Senne Lammens. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. This is the first of its kind. We're going to do another deadline day live in the future when the next transfer window happens, but I just had to do this one for the first time for you guys, so we can have conversations and have chats about the deadline day and transfer news and everything. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. We continue to grow as a community. We're about to hit another milestone, and I thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. But if you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. Thank you so much. Take care. Goodbye and God bless.